Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 30 of the best sports show out, Highly Opinionated. I'm your co-host, Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, the best co-host in the game, the host of the Club JG podcast. What's up, John? How you doing, my brother?
What's good, my guy? Another beautiful week. It's March Madness. I'm ready to go. It's an awesome time, man. How's everybody doing?
We are good, bro. Can't complain. Like you said, just taking it one day at a time. The best year. Everyone fills out a bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, you will hear our March Madness predictions later on in the show. We can't wait to give them to you. The best producer, the best editor, the best Mr. Everything of Highly Opinionated. What's up, Ross? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, Josh. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Can't complain at all. Everything is good with you?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Like you said, it's March Madness. I haven't been paying the most attention to college basketball, and I got a bracket to fill out, so I'll be paying attention to y'all today. So I'm definitely ready to get this show started. It is a low number, like relatively a low number 30, but like we on episode 30. I feel like we ain't another, like it just keep on going up.
Yeah, man. We just
going. I know the 50 episode we're gonna do something a little special, but we almost there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank everybody for all you guys to support. Good, bad. We appreciate it all. We love you guys. Can't wait to, again, like I said, on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, in our personal DMs. We appreciate all the love. We appreciate all the support. And we try to get back to you as much as we can. And if you disagree, as you will see later on in the show, come on the show. We can debate it, talk about it, and go at it from there. That's what this show is all about. So, want to be a safe space for everybody. Come in, talk about sports. Again, it's called Highly Opinionated. Come give your opinion. Let's debate it. Let's go at it. And, it is what it is. So,
yes, sir.
We want to thank everybody for watching last week's show. Thank you for tuning into this week's show. Ross, let them know where they can find us at on our social media.
Yeah, Josh. They can follow us on Instagram at Highly Opinionated __ and our new lead TikTok, which I say again is going down in the comments. We appreciate all the support and all the, like Josh says, all the people that's debating and that's disagreeing, but definitely making a vocal. We appreciate all that love. So you can follow us on TikTok at Highly Opinionated _SS and follow us on X at Highly O_SS. And while you're already on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. We will comment back.
Absolutely. John, let's help Adam. Let's help him fill out his bracket, bro. So let's get episode 30 started. You ready, my brother?
All set. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Before we get to college basketball, ladies and gentlemen, we will get to that. Let's start with the NFL offseason. They said it couldn't be done, but the Cincinnati Bengals, they did it. They definitely did it. They re-signed T. Higgins, and they also re-signed Jamar Chase. Pulling up the deals now. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Jamar Chase, $40.25 million guaranteed. Highest non-paid quarterback in the NFL. T. Higgins. Pulling up his deal now. Both receivers make over $10 million. Go ahead, John. You can speak on how you feel about it as I'm pulling up T. Higgins' deal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was one of those people that definitely did not believe that this was possible. I thought that T. Higgins was underselling himself. I thought he should look elsewhere outside of Cincinnati if he wanted to get paid top dollar, but he seems to be content with that $115 million contract he got alongside Jamar Chase. And the Bengals are sending a message. They want to keep their fireworks on offense, and this is one of the most dynamic wide receiver tandems in the NFL, and it's going to be very difficult to deal with. But the flip side to that is, okay, what's going to happen with Trey Hendrickson? What's going to happen with the other side of the ball? Because, in football, you got to play – there's two sides to the ball. You have your offense locked up. It's going to be one of the more explosive offenses in the NFL. We saw it this past season, even though it led to a 9-8 record. Why did it lead to a 9-8 record? It was because of the defensive side of the ball that could not stop anybody. So this tells me that Cincinnati wants to be a team that wants to outscore you, and they don't believe that you can score more than their offense can put up. And they're also praying and hoping that with their draft picks that they have for this season pan out. Because I imagine this is going to be a heavily defensive draft for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I'm thinking they're hoping and praying that those draft picks hit because they're probably going to need them to play right away.
When you say heavily invested draft, you mean all picks will be defensive players? Is that what when you mean heavily, you mean all, right?
Honestly, I think it should be all. I mean, I can't imagine unless you want to like maybe bolster the offensive line. I would understand that, but by and large, this should be a mostly defensive draft for the Bengals.
I would agree. If the Bengals had 7 picks, 6 of them should be defensive players. I definitely agree with that. They have a new defensive coordinator, Al Golden. He was the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame. Notre Dame played Ohio State in the national championship. They lost. So Al Golden has NFL experience. He was in the NFL before he went to Notre Dame. Jamar Chase, 4 years, $161 million, $112 million guaranteed, making him the highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history. T. Higgins, 4 years, $115 million, first 2 years guaranteed, making him the highest paid number 2 in NFL history. I thought they would get the deal done with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They did that. The reason why I thought they was because of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow put the pressure on them. He saw what the Philadelphia Eagles did. They paid A.J. Brown. They paid Devontae Smith. They paid this guy. They paid that guy. The difference of the Philadelphia Eagles is that the Philadelphia Eagles draft well. That's what Cincinnati will have to do. They will have to draft well. When you're paying capital out like this, you have to draft well. Cincinnati hasn't been an organization that consistently drafts well over time. If you look at their past 2 drafts, it's hit. You have some hits, you have some misses. So for me, it comes down to the draft with Cincinnati. And if Cincinnati can hit right on the draft, then yeah, everything should be fine. But if they don't hit right on the draft, yeah, they're definitely in trouble. Definitely.
Another thing is they waited too long to pay T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Like another thing that the Philadelphia Eagles did that the league should be paying attention to is that they paid their guys early before the price tag went up. You're not like by this point you either know that you're sold on the guy or not. They figured out Jalen Hurts. They were sold on him. They paid him early. They were sold on Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. They paid him early. How are you not sold already on Jamar Chase after year 1? I mean, his rookie season, he came out like he was still at LSU. Like I don't think he realized that he was in an NFL uniform. He looked like he was still Jamar Chase from LSU. He just came in and said the exact same thing. You're not sold on that guy after year 1. You don't want to pay that guy early to get that out of the way so you ain't got to worry about it later. That's the thing that Cincinnati did that just, quite frankly, to me, just wasn't smart. Same thing with T. Higgins. These guys have been elite since they joined the team. So I don't understand how you as the owner or the GM don't recognize that and say, hey, let's take care of them now so it doesn't become a thing where we're sitting where we are now. Well, basically all our money tied up in like maybe 4 players. And our is going to continue to struggle.
I agree. And that comes down to good GM decision-making and good GM calling. If you, for example, the Cowboys should have already paid Micah Parsons. You know what he is. You know what he represents. Pay him.
Yep.
Tampa Bay paid Antoine Winfield Jr. early. They knew what he is. He had a bad year last year. They know what he represents. Now, the older guys, I get, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin came off a knee injury. So I get, waiting for the last minute to pay them. But if Bucky Irvin keep playing how Bucky Irvin is playing, Tampa Bay's not going to wait. They're going to re-sign him early, get it out the way, and then do what you have to do. That's what good GMs do. The Ravens have done that with some of their players. Sign them early. Okay, cool. You can't play. Let's get rid of you. If you can play, we're going to do everything to hold on to you, i.e. Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley was a free agent. They re-signed him. So I agree with you. What we're saying in the NFL, obviously separating coaching, players separate from players. You have a great quarterback to a good quarterback to an average quarterback to a bad quarterback, fine. But these teams are really made off GMs. And if the GMs aren't doing their job, the team is definitely going to struggle. You know that. I know that. Stand in the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens. You're Baltimore Ravens, fan of them, Baltimore Ravens. They signed Cooper Rush to be the backup, 2 years, $12.2 million. I think roughly $6 million guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken. So how do you feel about this move for your Baltimore Ravens as a backup to Lamar Jackson?
I mean, Cooper Rush has proven to be a very good backup quarterback, and it's very valuable, especially in the league, when you have a player like Lamar Jackson who is a true dual threat quarterback. The risk for injury is there. It's something that you have to acknowledge, and obviously you knock on wood. All of Baltimore's holding their breath and knocking on wood that every time Lamar takes off and runs, you kind of just like say, okay, cool, get down. All right, you did good. All right, get out of bounds. And then it's like, thank God he lives for another play. So in case, again, God forbid, knock on wood, that he does get injured, this is a quality backup quarterback that has proven to go in and can win some games. So I snickered this for a little bit because I'm still kind of teetering off of what they did last week, signing DeAndre Hopkins. when the other receivers that I talked about were out there. But Cooper Rush is a quality backup. It's a good idea. You want to make sure that your quarterback room is secure if the event that Lamar Jackson does get injured.
Yeah, you want to make sure you got a good backup. We see that problem in Miami. We see that problem in New Orleans last year where they didn't have adequate backups. I don't think New Orleans was good last year, but they didn't have adequate backups, and you saw that they struggled without Derek Carr. We saw what it was in Miami last year with Tua. Tua stayed healthy 2 years ago. Miami made the playoffs. He wasn't healthy last year. They did make the playoffs. So obviously having a good backup quarterback matters. I'll definitely give you that. I also look at it as with the Ravens, the D-Hop move, yeah, there's been other receivers I would have liked seeing them go after, maybe Stephon Diggs, maybe Amari Cooper, maybe Cooper Kupp, other guys, etc. But they got what they signed. They wanted D-Hop. Derrick Henry wanted them. Lamar Jackson wanted them. So they got what they wanted. Quick question. I know you were not a fan of Mark Andrews in his last outing for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have decided to pick up Mark Andrews' option. He had an option on Sunday. The Ravens obviously didn't trade him or cut him, so they picked up that option. Do you think this season will be a comeback season for Mark Andrews, or you completely just done with him and all the way around?
No, I mean, look, emotions were high, obviously, in that last playoff game. I mean, it's tough to watch a guy like Mark Andrews who's been so sure-handed for most of his career drop a pass like that and ultimately leading to the Ravens losing that playoff game. And I didn't appreciate the depth threats that Mark Andrews was getting. I thought that was way overboard, and I talked about that on my show. Anybody who went out and did that is weak, in my opinion. But at this point, with all the free agency moves that have been done, it makes a lot of sense to pick up that option with Mark Andrews. The Ravens are very good in the tight end room. I do believe it is Isaiah Likely's time to be tight end number one, but to have Mark Andrews in that tight end room and still have him out there only makes a team better, in my opinion. I think Andrews is going to come back and be Mark Andrews. I mean, hopefully he stays healthy and just continues to work. I'm sure that he's going to think about that play all season long leading up to the beginning of the regular season and all through next year, and until he believes he's made up for it. If you know anything about Mark Andrews, the guy's going to come out and work, and he is all about Baltimore and football. So the guy's going to be locked in. He's going to be ready to go. So this is a good idea for the Ravens at this point.
Yeah, I love the move for the Ravens. I was not I thought that the crap that Mark Andrews got was straight bullshit. You drop the pass, he dropped the pass, things happen. I wasn't ready to trade him, get rid of him, release him, none of that. He's a hell of a tight end. He's still an elite tight end in the NFL. A million teams would love to have him. Tampa Bay would have loved to have him. The Chargers would have loved to have him. But the Ravens weren't giving him up. So I'm glad the Ravens stuck to their guns. They made the right decision. Ladies and gentlemen, being a fan is short for fanatic. That's what fan is. It's short for fanatic. And sometimes we think with being a fanatic, we think with our emotions instead of thinking with this. Like I said before, the GMs that are winning, Howie Roseman, he's using this. He's not thinking with emotion. Oh, he dropped the. If Howie Roseman was thinking with emotion, Saquon Barkley would have been cut after week 2. He dropped the pass against the Falcons on a Monday night. That's how the Falcons beat the Eagles. You can't think like that. You can't be emotional. So I love the Ravens doing what they did. They stuck with Mark Andrews. I agree with you. Isaiah Likely, more likely than not, a segue into that tight end one role. But shit, ain't nothing wrong with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely together. That tandem will put fear in defensive coordinators and defensive players' heart in the NFL. Our last topic on the NFL before we get out of here, NFL offseason before we get out of here in this segment. Quick answer. So Aaron Rodgers, reports are that he's coming down to the Vikings, the Steelers, or the Giants. Quick answer. Who do you think he should go to?
I think he should go to the Steelers, but reports say that he wants to go to the Vikings.
Yeah, I would. If you made me choose out of all those teams, I ain't gonna lie, I would take the Vikings. You're playing inside, so you have that climate that you don't have to play outside with. The Steelers is tough, man, because you're in the division with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and then whoever Cleveland has at quarterback. Let's say it's Kirk Cousins, or it could be a rookie, or it could be it won't be Kenny Pickett. So it'll be somewhat serviceable. Not saying Kenny Pickett's not serviceable, but I think it'll be someone better than Kenny Pickett. So now you're fighting for third or fourth in that division. Whereas though the NFC North, I mean, yeah, Jared Goff's the best quarterback in that division, but Aaron Rodgers could rival Jared Goff. They're both playing inside. You feel me?
It's a tough division, though, man.
No, it is. It's a tough division. You got Green Bay, you got Chicago, you got Detroit, and you got Minnesota. So it's definitely, I think it's the second best division. Last year was the best division. Next year, I think it'll be the second best division in the NFL. But at least you're playing inside. And I think playing with the Vikings and playing inside to do Aaron Rodgers well at this late stage of his career. I do not think Aaron Rodgers is a Super Bowl quarterback. I learned my lesson the hard way last year, ladies and gentlemen. But I do think him playing inside we can see the best of what Aaron Rodgers has left. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Highly Opinionated. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is brought to you by Edibly Airy. Enjoy the heightened experience of THC edibles in a whole new way. At Edibly Airy, our freeze-dry edibles available in 100 milligram, 200 milligram, 300 milligram, 400 milligram will give you the buzz you crave with a flavor you won't forget. Available in 3 different flavors: watermelon sunset, tropical fruit, and very berry. To place orders, please visit the website at ediblyairy.com. While you're there at ediblyairy.com, use a promotion code. You guys see the promotion code on the screen. $ Highly Airy, $. Again, $ Highly Airy, $ for 20% off your first purchase. Follow us on IG at Edibly Airy for new product releases and monthly hookups. Must be 21 and over to purchase. Edibly Airy, the best freeze-dry edibles out. Go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time, the best segment in sports. Let's talk about it. So for this week's edition of Let's Talk About It, there's a lot of crazy things going on in Dallas. We're going to stay with the NFL. Demarcus Lawrence signed with the Seattle Seahawks, but as he was leaving Dallas, well, I shouldn't say as he was leaving Dallas. Once he got to Seattle, he had some words for his former compadres in Dallas. Demarcus Lawrence, take it away.
It's my home. I made my home there. My family lives there. I'm forever going to be there. But, I know for sure I'm not going to win a Super Bowl there. So, yeah. We here.
We're here. Demarcus Lawrence, welcome to the Seahawks. Thanks for joining us.
We here. John, what was your thoughts on that? Before we, because one of the Cowboys responded. So before we show his response, what was your thoughts on what Demarcus Lawrence said?
I mean, it was a petty little cheap shot. You're leaving Dallas after 11 seasons. You're signing with a different team. They didn't want to pay you to bring you back. So yeah, there's a little bit of hard feelings. Leaving. It's like when you've been in the marriage that's been failing for the past 3 years, and then you don't say anything bad about your partner, but once the divorce is finalized and you're out of there and you're free to roam around, there might be some hurt feelings that come out, and there might be a couple things that you wouldn't originally say around that person, but now you're not. You just kind of talk freely, and then this is what you start hearing.
Yeah, you're right about that. Trust me, no man never. No man. No, you are good. You are good. That's good. No man never wants to hear test the waters. Trust me. Staying on that note, Micah Parsons, he heard test the waters, and he had a response. Micah Parsons, let's see Micah Parsons' response. Micah Parsons said, let me paraphrase. This is what rejection looks like. This is what rejection and envy looks like. This is some clown shit. For me with Dallas, this is why they can't win. This is why they don't win. Stuff like this. No team in the NFL has this going on. It's free agents that leave. Think about this. In the last 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, it's Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison have left the Ravens and went to the Steelers. That is the Ravens' most bitter rival in the NFL. They don't say nothing bad about the Ravens, publicly. They don't say anything bad about the Ravens. They might have hard feelings, in their house, or they might have hard feelings, but they keep it to themselves or they keep it to their loved ones. The Cowboys are in the news every day for all the wrong reasons. They're not spending money. They're not going after free agents. They're fighting in between. Jerry Jones said last year we're going all in. He signed Eric Kendricks. If that's all in, I want all out. Like, at the end of the day, like, the Cowboys are in the news for all the wrong reasons. Now, I do like some of the signings that they had this offseason. But still, like, they're signing, basically they're trying to old first-round picks, old second-round picks, and trying to make that, and build the team. What the Cowboys need to do is draft well, sign their players early, be proactive, and stop being in the news for all the wrong and stupid ass reasons that they're in the news. Micah Parsons, you're a leader. Demarcus Lawrence was wrong because he was there too. He could affect change in the culture. He didn't affect change in the culture. Fine. So Demarcus Lawrence was wrong for that. He's taking it, like John said, he's taking a pardon shot because he left. Okay, fine. But Micah, you're the leader of the defense now. Use that as motivation. You can use that as motivation to get your guys ready. No, you want to go on Twitter and say this is some clown shit. You could be right. It is. It could be some clown shit. But bro, use it to your advantage.
It's one thing if you're being asked about it, like in training camp or like, whatever reporter may ask you about Demarcus Lawrence. It's another thing that you're flat out just reacting immediately after seeing it on Twitter. You look like the bitter ex. The guy moves on. Now you're responding to what he's been saying publicly, but nothing's been directed to you. Why not just like put the phone down, put the microphone down, and just get to work? Keep doing your podcast because we love what Micah Parsons is doing there. We're not telling him to stop.
Yeah, not.
But just get ready for the next season. But it's impossible because this is who the Cowboys are. They live for headlines. They love the spotlight, the intentional on them all year long. They don't matter if it's the offseason, Super Bowl, midseason. The Cowboys want the spotlight on them somehow, some way. And most of the time, it ain't got nothing to do with football. It's Micah Parsons one week where he gets on his podcast praising, the other team's quarterback a little too much or not really saying much about Dak Prescott, his own quarterback. It's Jerry Jones and what other misguided thing he may have said to the point where people don't even understand what the hell he's talking about at this point. Or it's about Mike McCarthy. Is he going to make it to next week? Is he going to come back next season? Or can the Cowboys find a way to turn their season around when they're 3-8? It's always something that we have to talk about the Cowboys for because they're quote unquote America's team. Well, this is what America is associated with. That's not something that you should be proud of. It's mediocrity at best and an attention hungry franchise. It's got nothing to do with football.
Well, I'm not taking a shot at nobody in America, but if you look at America, that's what America is. Mediocre and attention-seeking people. Well, everybody wants attention in some form, some way. So I definitely think the Cowboys represent America in the perfect way. Mediocrity and always seeking attention. So we get that. We definitely understand that, at least from my vantage point. But again, Jerry Jones is the only owner, like getting back to that point about seeking media attention. Jerry Jones is the only owner that has a weekly radio show. Jerry, if you want to win, you can do it your way. But doing it your way, you haven't won. The last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, I was 3. No, better yet, I was 2. Because it wasn't even April of 96 yet. Like, I was 2. I'll be 32 next month. They haven't won in 30 years. So, like at some point, you're doing the same thing, expecting a different result. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's idiotic. Jerry, you're a smart man. You're getting up there in age. You're a smart man. Huh?
So that's a definition of insanity. Doing something the same way over and over again and expecting results. Definitely insane. It's definitely insane for Jerry to keep running the same thing back over and over and over every year after every year after every year. Change something up. Okay, you want to do your radio show? Fine. But maybe get somebody in there that can actually coach the team, that you can. I mean, I know you don't like coaches because we saw that with Jimmy. We saw Jimmy Johnson. We saw that with Bill Parcells. But you keep doing the same thing, hiring figureheads. At some point in time, yeah, they'll have a good couple years, but they're not going to win the ultimate prize. Just be an owner, dude. Like, stop being a GM and just be a freaking owner. What you've done is not working. It's only gotten worse. And now you're in a situation where you almost like the Bengals. You paid CeeDee. Now, I'm gonna give credit to the Cowboys because they did restructure with Dak, with CeeDee to create some cap room in order to pay Micah Parsons. I give them credit for that. But the way that your team was getting dominated on the defensive side of the ball, anybody with a good running back would have an absolute field day on you. You didn't what are you doing to address the glaring weaknesses? We haven't really seen a lot of that. They made a couple of signings here and there, but is there anybody that you see that is really going to fix the problem?
But I think they've signed guys that can help if they have a good draft. Like we mentioned earlier with the Bengals. The Cowboys, to me, are in a position. They have to hit on their draft. And if you look at their draft the past 2-3 years, has been, again, hit and miss. The Ravens, to me, the teams who I look to draft well, the Philadelphia Eagles usually draft well. The Baltimore Ravens draft well. The Steelers usually draft well. The Packers usually draft well. And recently, I would have, and I'm just saying this because I'm a homer. Tampa Bay, if you look at their draft, Tampa Bay has had one bad draft in the last like 5 years, 6 years.
Sure.
So they draft well, they draft stars, they draft good players. So for me, the Cowboys need to be in that. Now the Cowboys were in that because before the past 2 drafts, they did draft Dak in the 4th round. They did draft Zeke, they drafted Zach Martin, they drafted Micah Parsons, they drafted these guys, Trayvon Diggs. They drafted these guys, but you got to hit on the draft. You got to be consistently hitting on the draft. That's why the Eagles, they won the Super Bowl last year. I think most people think they'll be in contention next year because they've been consistently hitting on the draft, and that's what the Cowboys haven't done. If you're not going to spend a free agency, you have to hit on the draft, and they choose not to spend a free agency, so they have to find a way to hit in the draft. I think they can get a defensive tackle out the draft. Keep your eye out on Mason Graham from Michigan, Kenneth Grant from Michigan. So you got some guys that you can draft with the defensive tackle position that can help you stop the run, fortify that defensive line, and get good in the trenches.
Agreed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. As you can see, we have a special guest on the screen. This guy knows all sports: basketball, football, baseball, soccer, you name it, he knows it all. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to Highly Opinionated first time, Nick. Let's welcome Nick to Highly Opinionated. What's going on,
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. What's up, fellas? How y'all feeling, man? Appreciate the invite.
We good, man. We can't complain. We appreciate you for hopping on with us, giving us your expertise on sports, man. Let's let my audience know about you. Yeah, where you start off at sports, where you are at now. Let's let the audience know where you are.
Honestly, I mean, I've been playing. I've played basketball for about 20 years. You get what I'm saying? I would probably say I'm a retired basketball player now for the 25 years I done put in. You get what I'm saying? I would say I'm a unprofessional analyst now. You get what I'm saying? And a FanDuel gambler right now. But yeah, basketball all the way up. You get what I'm saying? High school. I went to a couple of high schools, Towson Catholic, Cardinal Gibbons, and then like Milford. And then like for college, I went to Frostburg. You feel me? So I'm about to say, yeah, I got been playing ball for a little minute. I would say I know a little something about the game. I don't know too much. I know a little something.
Let me say something. John, before you go, bro, I'm just gonna say this. So don't underestimate yourself. You know a lot about the game. You taught me a thing or two about the game, so I appreciate that. Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say, don't undersell yourself, man. Look, I know you know the game. Like, don't even be humble about it, bro. You actually just like us.
You know, you gotta let your facts speak for yourself. You feel me? We just gonna be humble right now. Then we gonna get into it.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. Let's start off with college basketball. It's March Madness. You know, everyone fills out a bracket, whether you're at work, whether you're at the gym, whether you're at whatever. Everyone's filling out a bracket. Some people fill out brackets for the teams that they like, for the colors, for the uniforms, et cetera, et cetera. But obviously, you watch college basketball. We know that. You obviously played at Frostburg. So watching college basketball, what's your Final Four and what's your national championship prediction?
I honestly think this is a good year for the number 1 seeds to actually like make it through the tournament. I feel like even though it's going to be a lot of teams that get taken out, I think the Final Four will be the number 1 seeds unless Michigan State sneak their way in there from the 2 spot. I think the championship is going to be Michigan State and Duke probably, or Michigan State and Houston. I'm probably going with guard play, or I'm going with defense. So I would go Michigan State or St. John's. I'm going with 2 seeds to the Elite 8, 1 seed to the Elite 8, and I'm going 2 seeds all the way through. So probably St. John's, Michigan State playing in the Final Four, and then whoever win that game will win the national championship.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't have A number one seed that I don't trust is Auburn. I've been watching Auburn like the last month of the season. They haven't looked the same as they have the start of the year. It's gotten to the point. I know they got Janai Broom. He's a National Player of the Year candidate along with Cooper Flag. But just watching how they've looked as of late, including the SEC tournament, game against Tennessee, they're probably the number one seed that I don't trust the most. I have Michigan State actually in my bracket, knocking them off to go to the Final Four. I do have Duke making it. I have Houston making it as well, and then I also have trying to think of my Florida. Florida was my last number one seed to make it. So I hear what you're saying about a good year for the number one seeds, but that one number one that I don't trust is definitely Auburn.
What's your take on Auburn, Smooth?
I like Auburn, bro. They got guard play and they great coaching. You get them saying? Bruce Pearl. About to say one thing about college basketball, bro. You go with point guard play and you go with coaching. You get them saying? Everything else kind of like, it's 50-50. But if you got a good point guard or you got good guard play and you got good coaching and they playing defense, bro. And one thing you can't teach is, them niggas going hard, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, it ain't a lot of teams out there that be going hard. And when it comes to, the tournament, it's about matchups. I don't think a lot of teams going to, like, out-tough them, for 40 minutes. You get what I'm saying? So, they're going to be a tough team to beat, honestly.
But I think about you just said it, toughness. That's what Michigan State is. We know who their coach is as well. He's been doing this for a long time, like Bruce Pearl. He's been successful like that. So that's why Auburn should at least get to the Elite Eight. They're an elite team for sure. They were number one overall seed for a reason. So I expect them to at least get to the Elite Eight. But it's just there's things that I've seen that the inconsistency, the body language at times like tells me that, you can get them, one, if you're making shots and then you defend. And I feel like, when they start missing shots, it translates to their defensive effort. Like they're all up in you when they're making shots. Like now it's gonna be hard to deal with them. But if they have an off night shooting, can they still get the stops needed to keep themselves in the game and not let shots affect their effort? I've seen a couple of examples of that recently, and I feel like Michigan State is going to use that against you for sure.
No, you are absolutely correct. I'll give you that.
Yeah, Michigan State is in that region, 2 seed in that region. Iowa State's the 3 seed. Texas A&M is the 4 seed. Iowa State, they lost. I think I saw a report that they lost their best or second best player before the tournament. So obviously that'll hinder Iowa State chances in that region. In that region, I actually like Michigan State to win that region. I'm with John. Me and John been on this for a month now. Auburn has the best resume because the SEC has been the best basketball conference literally probably in my lifetime. They have 14 of the 16 teams make the tournament. And think about this. South Carolina struggled to win a game in the conference. South Carolina beat Clemson. Clemson made the tournament early in the season. In the non-conference tournament, non-conference play, South Carolina beat Clemson. They couldn't win a game in the SEC because they had Arkansas, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Like, that's ridiculous. So Texas, Oklahoma. So I definitely, the SEC definitely was strong. But for me, I just think Michigan State will win that region. I do think currently the best team playing right now is Florida. They've been hitting on all cylinders for the past month and a half. So I think I would love for St. John's to win that region, but I think Florida will win their region. I think in the Midwest, I like – what do I have in the Midwest? I like – here we go. The Midwest, I like Tennessee. I think Tennessee will beat Houston. I don't trust – I think Calvin Sampson is a good team. I think Calvin's a good team. I think Calvin Sampson's a good coach. Bona fide good college coach. Like, we know what he is. We know what he represents. It just seemed like in the big games, his offensive teams, they struggle. Now, I know they didn't struggle in the Big 12 championship game, but I just think that they struggle in big games. Like, they can suffocate you, but you can't suffocate everybody in the NCAA tournament. You're going to have a moment where you have to outscore somebody. And I just don't think Houston has enough. Now, like you said, Smooth, Houston does have the guard play that can obviously keep them in every game. You're number 1, number 2 seed, number 3 seed. You have guards that can keep you in every game. But I just don't trust Houston. I don't trust Houston, and I don't trust Auburn. Those are the 1 seeds I don't trust.
I don't trust none of these college kids. Being a college student, you don't know what these kids be doing the night before the game, bro. You get what I'm saying? I don't trust none of them, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm going with whoever has the oldest roster with the most experience. You'll be surprised if a Kentucky comes out You get what I'm saying? Because they got all the older guys. This is the time where the experience kicks in at. This is why they went and got 12 transfers that already played in the NCAA tournament for times like this. Their downfall is going to be that point guard. You get what I'm saying? Like that. Their point guard, he can shoot, but he's not super tough. He ain't stopping too much. But the rest of them guys going. So I mean, it's a toss-up this year, bro. Like it's no guarantee. Like how I look at it. Like I know you're a Duke fan.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
The easiest region in the tournament.
The easiest region in the tournament, and you'll be surprised how they slip up the first weekend or something. You get what I'm saying? Like it'll be something like that.
Let me say this. I do know people think we have the easiest region. That's fine. You can think that. I respect Mississippi State. I respect Baylor. Baylor had Jeremy Roach played at Duke last year. If Baylor were to beat Mississippi State, that's not an easy game for Duke to win. If Mississippi State beat Baylor, that's not an easy game for Duke to win. So no, it's not. I don't necessarily look at it as like it's an easy road. Is it the lesser, harder road for all the number one seeds? Yes, I can agree with that. But I'll take it. So Jay,
what's the opposite of the hardest road? The easiest road, right?
The easiest road, yeah. yeah. Well, I mean, but whole time I'm talking about, we got Alabama. Hold on, let me just say, Alabama is the number 2 seed in this region. Wisconsin is the number 3 seed. I know people laugh at Wisconsin. That's fine. And then Arizona, the Duke killer, number 4. I mean, not number 4, but Arizona's the number 4 seed. The Duke killer and Caleb Love is on this team. So, and Arizona played Duke already. Duke beat them, so Arizona could get their get back. So I'm just saying, like, it's not as easy as we just gonna come out and say, like Smoot, like you said, these college kids. Well, only college kid I feel comfortable in knowing what they're doing this week is Cooper Flag because he can't do nothing. That's the only college kid. He's rehab.
That's why I'm saying so literally, bro. And I ain't wishing nothing ill on nobody, but that's just like super unfortunate where like your best player gets hurt around that time frame, and it be stuff like that stop you. You get what I'm saying? That kind of like stop your momentum a little bit. Now, you know, he coming in on a limp. We don't really know, bro.
And Smooth, let me just say this to make my point. And John, I will text you Sunday. We'll be on the phone. We'll be texting. Let's say Cooper, because I don't think Cooper Flash should play the first game.
I agree.
It's the first game. But bro, his first game back against Mississippi State, against Baylor, Bangor, like these guys got some girth, they got some size. They're in a major 5, major 4 conference. So it ain't like they playing against, it's not like they playing Mount St. Mary's and then they playing George Mason. No, they playing Mississippi State is a solid team. Baylor's a solid team. So Smooth, like you said, like it can go either way. It can go either way for anybody. It's to me, it's about 10 to 15 teams that's in this tournament that could win a national championship. John, you're gonna love this. And I'm not just saying this because you're on here. It's certain things that Maryland could make some noise in the tournament. Now, maybe 1 or 2 things have to go their way, but they can make some noise in the tournament. So I'm just saying now.
They got a tough weekend, man. They got a tough weekend.
They got a tough region. They got the worst region in the damn tournament.
Yeah, they got a tough weekend.
Y'all being disrespectful. They got a tough game. Grand Canyon ain't easy. Coach
by they got a tough weekend.
Oh yeah, well, tough weekend. Yeah,
I know.
Tough weekend.
Yeah, so if they get past that, the next game is even crazier.
Yeah, because they're either gonna play Memphis or they'll play Colorado State. So
two teams that they can't match up with. So that's why I'm so all right. Okay. So let me ask y'all this question: What's gonna be Maryland's? Well, I don't want to say what's gonna be Maryland's downfall. What's gonna stop Maryland? Is it guard play or is it the inexperience from the freshman? Because he's the best player on the team, hands down, and they need to go through him. But he can't bring the ball up the court, pass the ball to himself. You get what I'm saying? He can't do everything.
John, I'll go first and I'll let you go. Because John, you know the team, so you could definitely.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked.
You could attack me and Smoot from our opinions. So yeah, the guard play, I don't trust Maryland's guard play. You're right about that. But I think the biggest Achilles heel is their bench. They have no bench. Like, yeah, they got 5 dudes that can play cool, but they have nobody on the bench that you be like, okay, can you spare this guy? Can you spare this guy 5 to 10 minutes? Can you spot him? And even in the NCAA tournament, you spot somebody 3 to 5 minutes. That can help with all the TV timeouts and all this and all that. They don't have that. They call them the Crab 5. It's the reason why they call them the Crab 5. That's what they got.
I think their guards on the bench is better than the guards that's starting, to me. But I just think it's like they ain't really showed I don't think it kind of like really showed the game. Well, they haven't grown into their opportunity yet to really show like what they can do. You get what I'm saying? With the spot minutes that they do get. But I think they probably offer a little bit more. Honestly, like Rodney, about to say, what's shorty name? Rice and I like Rice, man. And there's one more person on that team.
Gillespie.
No, that's the one that start, right? About to say that's the one that start. He okay, but he's an older guy though, so he got the experience. You get what I'm saying? But he go come up against one of them guards. He get the one of the Memphis guards. I don't know.
All right. So if I sound like a homer, it is what it is. Like y'all know the story with me. But I watched this team extensively. Jacoby Gillespie is one of the most solid point guards in college basketball, from an assist to turnover ratio to good decision making. I've seen this guy go up against tough guards in the Big Ten. If you can handle Big Ten's guards, you can handle anybody, in my opinion. So Gillespie, I'm not worried about him at all. Rodney Rice reminds me a lot of a young J.R. Smith. Like when he gets going, look out. Yeah, yes. There are times where when he struggles, I get it. When J.R. Smith struggled, we saw what J.R. Smith was. But when he's on, look out. And
he looked good, dog. Yeah.
Say again, Smoot.
No, I said he looked good when he on. About to say when he hit, he hit.
Yeah. My thing is like the starting five plays defense as well, and I hear what you're saying about the bench from like an offensive productive standpoint. But what they've done is they've really spot minutes for Queen, for Reese, for Miguel, on the defensive side of the ball. That's what I think that's what his bench has done the best this season, is really spot them defensively, because I've been critical of Maryland's bench too, like from an offensive standpoint. You got to have some depth on the bench as you go into the postseason and have guys that can spot your starters' minutes. But what Maryland's done is that they keep guys out there for offense, like in that starting five, as they rotate around. They're not doing a hockey sub where they're taking 5 guys in, 5 guys out. So they're keeping offensive guys in there while spotting minutes for the other starters. And Jordan Geronimo, Kapara, and a couple of these other guys, Jay Young, who's the backup point guard for Gillespie, I think they've done a really good job there on the defensive side of the ball. But I do hear what you're saying. As the tournament wanes on, you're going to need a little more offensive production from those guys. I think they're capable of doing that. It's just going to be a game where that's going to be asked of them. And I think by the time that moment comes, I think they'll be prepared.
I think if they play inside out, they're gonna be good.
Run the offense.
But it's kind of yeah. I'm about to say, I think if they go inside out and he gets going, they gonna be all right. But I think in the tournament and stuff like that, it come down to your guards. Like I feel like Queen go do what Queen do. It's gonna come down to your guard play, and I'm not too. I couldn't bet no money on Shorty, is what I'm saying. Like if I had to go to live and go bet money on him, I couldn't do it. So that's why I'm saying, like, yeah, his assist to turnover ratio is cool. You get what I'm saying? Like, well, it's not cool, it's great. You get what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's just something you gotta have that it factor when it comes to like them big time games and big time moments.
I've seen them do it in big games, like, so I'm not worried about that.
I'm with you.
You Smoke. You asked what could be Maryland's downfall. Obviously, their play could be their downfall, bro. Their region could be their downfall. Like, UConn's won back-to-back national champions, and UConn's a good team. They're not great, but they're a good team. They're an 8 seed in this region. Oklahoma's a 9. Memphis is a 5. Colorado State's a 12. Obviously, Maryland, Grand Canyon. I've been watching TV. I've been seeing people tell me how good Drake is. I had some people tell me Drake's going to beat Missouri in the first round. And then at the bottom of the bracket, like, obviously, St. John's, what Rick Pitino's done, like, he should be the coach of the year. Shouldn't even be no conversation. Like, he's amazing. Like, he's completely changed his whole situation, his whole reputation from what he was when he left Louisville to what he is now. Rick Pitino always could coach. It's just now that Rick Pitino is allowed to pay players and give players money, whereas though back in the day, he was giving players money and it was just elite. That's the only thing that changed. Rick Pitino still can coach, so we know that. Bro,
There ain't no strippers out there in New York.
Yeah. We love you, Rick. We love you. The number 7 seed in that region is Kansas. The number 10 seed is Arkansas. Now, all right, they've had not what they should be seasons. Bro, these teams are coached by Bill Self and John Calipari. Last time I checked, both of those guys got national championships, right?
Tanner Jet Josh. Arkansas overachieved with Calipari in this first season with them.
Yes,
they weren't to do that well. Calipari didn't really have his recruits coming in yet. So Arkansas getting in this tournament, that's a winning season for Calipari. I think they overachieved. And I got them beating Kansas right now, quite frankly, because I don't know if you've been watching Kansas like the past second half of the season. They are nosediving.
Yes.
There's no energy. There's no like belief in that locker room, in my opinion. I think Arkansas puts them out of their misery this weekend.
Hunter for before you go smoke. It's Hunter Dickinson and the rest of the team.
Yep.
That's all they got. So go ahead, smoke.
Bro, I'm an Arkansas fan. I love Coach Calipari. About to say I don't know this year, man. About to say we definitely overachieved. About to say we didn't go deep in the bench and stuff like that. I don't know if Theo don't play, that's our best player this year, hands down. Well, besides Boogie before he got hurt. But you feel me? Theo, if he doesn't play, I don't know. We only go as good as he like when he's not playing. I don't know what the hell we putting on the court sometimes, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a big Z night. It might, but hopefully we're gonna bank on Davis to come through. Like this is why they brought Davis in for the moments like this, you know, for the tournament, because he was killing last year in the tournament and stuff like that. So they brought him in to kind of handle the experience side. But they in for a tough game, bro, because ain't none of them bigs go stop Hunter unless they put in the backup.
Yeah, I mean Z, you call him Z. Z not, yeah, he's not. Yeah, Hunter Dickinson can overwork him just because they're gonna run the offense. If Kansas is gonna win, they're gonna have to run the offense through Hunter Dickinson between him and the point guard Harris. So yeah, I like Arkansas to win this game. I think Arkansas, John, you said it, and Smoot, you know this. They overachieved this year. Like if John Calipari doesn't win the tournament game this year, that's fine. Now him not winning tournament games with Kentucky, that's something different. But this year they overachieved. They weren't supposed to win this year. So you know, if he got in the tournament, let's say they lose to Kansas by 3 to 5, let's say 3 to 10 points. Okay, fine, stuff happens. He'll recruit next year. He'll start getting his actual guys in there, and we know what we already know what to expect from John Calipari at Arkansas. Very, very highly recruited team. Should make the tournament, and then let's see what happens in the tournament. So, but I like Arkansas. It would be great though to see. It doesn't matter who win the game, either Arkansas or Kansas, but that second round matchup with coaching, you'll get Bill Self versus John Calipari, or Bill Self versus not Bill Self. I'm sorry, Rick Pitino versus John Calipari, or Rick Pitino versus Bill Self. Great coaching matchup either way.
No, it's an amazing first weekend of college basketball, low key, bro. Even like the small schools that's playing the bigger schools, you get them saying like it's an amazing first week of college basketball. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of upsets, low key. And it's gonna be a lot of close. It's gonna be games closer than what we think.
I got a few upsets.
I do too. Well, before we get you up out of here, let's get your thoughts on the NBA. Obviously, you watch college basketball, so we know you love the NBA. Quick MVP thought. Is it unanimous?
Probably going with Shea or Joker, bro. About to say some of the numbers that Joker be putting up. I mean, I'm an analytical guy too. Like, my favorite test is the eye test, but I can't lie about the numbers. Like, if you gave him MVP the last 2 years and his numbers is better the following years, you get what I'm saying? It's like, you get what I'm saying? But when LeBron do stuff like that, they don't gift them. So you know how the league works sometimes. You get what I'm saying? But they probably go gifted to Shea this year just because they gave it to Joker the last 2 years. But Shea is going crazy, bro. Like, if you really watching basketball, he shoot a lot of shots too, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, he shoots a lot of shots. But he's very efficient, bro. And it looks effortless. Like, effortless. Like, it's very, very, very tough.
Does he have the best mid-range game in the NBA?
One of the best. Well, he's one of the main people that really shoots the mid-range. The league has transitioned to threes and layups. You get what I'm saying? So he's kind of like one of the main people that's kind of sticking to the mid-range. You get what I'm saying? I would probably say he's one of the better people in the mid-range. Him, Paul George mid-range used to be tough. I'll probably say Pablo mid-range not bad neither. Shorty from the Magic.
No, Pablo Banchero, yes sir.
Yeah. His mid-range kind of solid for like when you really watch him play, he's trying to get to the midi in the bucket. Yeah, I didn't want to add Kyrie to that. He's like on another tier to his like the shit he be doing out there is ridiculous, bro. You get what I'm saying? And the fact that they traded Luka got him hurt because he had to like overexert the body now. You get what I'm saying? Where he had to do a little bit more, where he was kind of on cruise control, still getting some good ass numbers. You get what I'm saying? So now he was like, overexerting a little bit.
I don't think they anticipate all these injuries to happen with the team though. As soon as they made the trade, so I get people Kyrie overexerting. He's trying to win. I mean, went ahead and shot the free throws after he tore his knee up. So respect to him.
No, absolutely.
So you said Shea or Joker is the MVP. Got you.
And Jalen Brunson, I'm about to say mid range too.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson definitely.
I like JB mid range.
If you had to make a NBA Finals pick, who would you have in the finals?
I would probably go to Celtics or the Bucks for the East.
Okay.
And then for the West, I would probably go. Y'all gonna laugh at me, but I would probably go. No bullshit. The Warriors or the Lakers.
Okay. That's very interesting, right? So I know you. So I knew you was gonna say Lakers. I knew you was gonna say Lakers. I get that. But I was not expecting you to say the Thunder. I mean, I said the Thunder. I'm sorry, or the Warriors. So my next question was, I'm like, Smooth.
I'm watching TV, bro. I watch the games, bro.
I know you do. So I was gonna ask you, well, how serious should we take the Warriors? But instead of me asking you that, I'm gonna rechange the question. So you think it could be the Lakers or the Warriors? Do you think that'll be the Western Conference Finals, the Lakers and the Warriors?
Yeah, I mean, I can give you the simple. Not like we're not building bombs on the court. Like this is real simple. You get what I'm saying? Like basketball is simple. Do they have somebody out there that can guard Luka on the Thunder? No, do the Thunder, the number 1 seed, has anybody that can guard Luka or LeBron James?
They have somebody that when you say guard, I don't like using that.
I'm just do they have anybody that they're going to put on them? Like at least some teams got some guys. You can throw their name out there and you be like, all right, they go guard them. Who's guarding LeBron and Luka in that series? Is what I'll ask.
You could take Lou Dort and put on one of them. Now I'm not saying they're not
barbecue chicken.
No, sir. I'm just saying. You asked me a question. I'm not saying he's not going to get cooked, but I'm saying if like the way their team is built, Lou Dort's a good defender. Okay, yeah, Absolutely. Go out there and you do your thing.
Who's guarding the second person? That's what I'm asking.
They don't have anybody for that.
So they're not gonna be able to beat them. If you can't match up and guard them, you gotta play 7 times.
Go ahead, John.
You get what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm just like that's why I say like the Bucks have a chance to make it to the finals. There ain't a lot of people that can guard Giannis, stop him 7 times coming at you downhill.
Oh, so you think the Bucks have a better chance of going to the finals than the Cavs?
No, I think the Celtics has a better chance going to the finals than the Cavs. I'm not really sold on the Cavs. I'm not sold on the regular season stuff, bro. When you're starting center, say the lights were too bright when they got to the playoffs last year, and we banking on that. If y'all putting y'all money on Evan Mobley and Darius Garland to be your 2 and 3 best players, I'll take your money any day of the week. I'll take your money any day of the week. I don't have any concerns with Donovan Mitchell, but my concerns is with the 2 and the 3. Which one of them are going to stop Jaylen Brown, or you get what I'm saying, like or Jason Tatum? Well, which one of them is stopping Dame and Giannis? You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying like they're going to be the downfall to that shit. It's not going to be the fact that they not going to get there. The lights going to get too bright, and it's going to be experience this year. Oh, they just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It was experience. No, we knew what it was. They like the Hawks.
Damn, the Hawks. Oh yeah, damn, I can't.
Donovan Mitchell is Joe Johnson.
That's a little disrespectful.
I can't say that. I think this
disrespectful. The Hawks had the best record that year.
Yeah, but
they had 4 All-Stars that year.
Yeah, but bro, none of them dudes on the Hawks, other than Joe Johnson, was as good as Evan Mobley or Darius Garland. I'm sorry, they're just not.
Well, Al Horford with Atlanta was.
I'm just listening. So you telling me, Evan? I love this. So you banking on Evan Mobley?
I think Evan Mobley is a better player than Al Horford.
I have no faith in Cleveland. Let me make that very clear. I have zero faith in Cleveland. I don't give a damn about nothing that's going on in the regular season. If they somehow get to the East Finals, they will get their asses handed to them by Boston again. Trust me, and you can quote me on that and keep this tape for when we get there, because I have zero faith in Cleveland.
I think it's gonna be close, but I think Boston go edge them.
I don't think it's gonna be close.
I think Cleveland will get to the conference finals. I'm just saying. He said Milwaukee. I just think Cleveland better than Milwaukee. Milwaukee ain't shown me nothing.
Who
Listen,
on Cleveland is stopping Giannis? Who's stopping Giannis on Cleveland?
Well, bro, listen.
The team,
Yo, listen.
Go ahead,
John. No, go ahead, John. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you out. Go ahead.
Because I got a couple points, like for the Lakers and OKC, and then Bucks and Cleveland. But Oklahoma City, they're number one in 6 to 7 defensive categories. So it's not about one guy stopping another guy. It's the team defense altogether that plays well against another team's offense. I think we get caught up in like matchups so much we forget about how effective a good team defense can be. They've got Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein back there in the front line, so it's not going to be easy just getting to the basket and scoring like LeBron and Luka have been doing. There's going to be some resistance at the rim. I'm not saying they're going to shut them down. Nobody's going to shut down Luka and LeBron. It's impossible. It's virtually impossible to shut down a player that good like Luka or LeBron. So that's not going to happen individually. But team defense can exploit the weaknesses that each team could have. And as we know in the playoffs, defenses get turned up, and your weaknesses will be exposed times 1,000. So that's what I mean by
right on the head.
You put Lou Dort on Luka Doncic. He's not going to stop Luka. Let's not be stupid. He's not going to stop Luka. No one is going to stop LeBron from getting theirs. But it's about how do you affect the other guys? How do you affect Austin Reeves? How do you effectively take out Vanderbilt? The other guys that have been Jackson Hayes. The other guys that have been in effect with playing off of Luka and LeBron. That's why the Lakers have been winning so well. They're moving the basketball really well. Luka and LeBron have been spectacular. Didn't expect this to be like this so soon, but it has. But as the playoffs get here, it's not about so much with stopping the stars. It's about affecting the supporting cast. And I think Oklahoma City has a really good team defense that has the ability to do that. I mean, look, I don't blame the Lakers over OKC. They have the experience. They got the playoff experience and the NBA Finals experience on this side. They got two of the best players we've ever seen on their side. Shea is amazing, but he ain't quite there with those guys. So I understand that having confidence in the Lakers, but I think we're sleeping a little bit on Oklahoma City's team defense.
No, I'm not disrespecting their team defense. Their team defense is accumulated of 82 games during regular season. When you get in the playoffs, everything you did in them 82 games kind of don't matter no more. You get what I'm saying? Because now we just go pick apart. We're going to pick apart your. Well, we'd have to play defense, but in the NBA, they pick apart your weakest matchup on the court. They attack your weakest matchup every time. Like, they're not going to come down and run a set. If you got somebody on the court that can't guard somebody, they're just going to attack that person every single time until you take them out. So it's going to be certain guys that you can't play in a series. So you got to match up and stuff. So that's why I'm saying, like, I'm not discrediting OKC. I think they have an opportunity to make it to the finals too as well. You get what I'm saying? But if I'm going off of the last 20, 25 games, or if I'm going off of from like the trade deadline or whatever, the Lakers numbers kind of up there too, bro, in them defensive categories. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the Lakers got anybody on their team that can stop Shea. Like, they don't have anybody on their team that can stop Shea. You get what I'm saying? But I do think they got some guys out there that can frustrate him. Shea will still get 30.
So you believe that what we've been seeing recently with the Lakers can actually be consistent going into the playoffs? I'm not. That's my one question.
I mean, if everybody's 100% healthy, yes. Do I think everybody's going to be 100% healthy? No. You get what I'm saying? Because they have to overexert themselves too, because they don't have the other pieces to really compensate for what they're trying to really do. You get what I'm saying? But you know, if everybody ends up healthy and every team is healthy going through, I find it pretty difficult for some of them teams to kind of match up and beat them guys, especially from like basketball is more mental than physical. You get what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes to the playoffs and stuff like that, it gets down to X's and O's, bro. Obviously, you need more pros than Joes. You get what I'm saying? But I think it matches up pretty well, bro. You get what I'm saying? Even a Dallas Maverick healthy team has an opportunity to make it to the finals because of everything that they have on that roster. You get what I'm saying? Like, they match up with a lot of teams too. It ain't a lot of teams that can beat that in the playoffs if everybody's doing what they're supposed to do.
Fair.
Absolutely. For me, I'm not picking this team to win the West, but I think the most dangerous team that you guys mentioned in the West, I think it's the Warriors. I love what I'm saying from Jimmy. I love the addition of Jimmy. I feel like Jimmy Butler puts everybody on the Warriors in that right position. Draymond, you're the facilitator. If you score, that's extra. But you facilitate, play defense. Kuminga, play your role. Be athletic. Do your job defensively. Come in and score. Rebounds. Push the pace. Do your thing. Steph, run off a million screens. Run around. Get people tired. Do your thing. Score. Like Przezinski. Penetrate, kick, penetrate, score. Do your thing. My man, what's the 3-point shooter? Buddy Hill, shoot threes. That's your role. Do that. Try to be above average on defense, or slightly above average. But other than that, shoot
for that.
Do your role, do your job. The big men come in, set hard screens, grab rebounds, play defense, do your role. I did not think this Golden State Warriors team would be the 6th seed right now in the West. I think, Smoot, you might not like this, but I think they will catch the Lakers at the 5 seed. I think Golden State will be a top 6 seed for sure. I mean, they 6 now, but I think they'll be 4 or 5 by the time the playoffs start. If they 4 or 5 in the playoffs start, that could be real interesting for Oklahoma City, because if Golden State won their first round series, they would have to play Oklahoma City in the second round. So, be real interesting.
What are the chances that we
John,
have
you want to go?
Warriors? And
Go ahead, John.
I was going to say, what are the chances that we have Lakers Warriors in the first round at the 4 and 5 spot?
Oh,
I would love that.
that would be something.
Or we have them in a playing game, or we had them in that 7-8 playing game, where teams start catching up in those last 2 weeks.
I don't know.
Drop that far?
Minnesota right there with Golden State. They right there. Golden State 39-28, Minnesota 40-29. So they right there. Now,
But
I don't
this
think
is what I will
Lakers
say about Golden.
Go ahead, Smoot.
No, my bad. I was saying this is what I will say about Golden State, though. I would agree. I would say that Jimmy Butler has came in and fit that Andre Iguodala role perfectly. I feel like that's what they were missing. Like, they had a lot of pieces out there, but they had nobody that could fit the glue guy, the guy that's gonna go out there and do everything. Like, Draymond does everything, but he's on the back end of it. Iguodala was the one that really got that engine going, and Jimmy came in and fit that role perfectly. It's some nights where Jimmy come in and shoot 5 shots and still impacts the game, the whole game. And it's some nights where he kills his matchup because that's what he's supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. It's like they clicking at that right time. And then you got a guy that can shoot the ball from. That's not. I have to give respect when respect is due. I used to hate on him. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I didn't like his game at one point in time, but he be killing, bro. Curry is very good, bro.
I would say this. Shaq mentioned last week he should be in the greatest of all time conversation. And when you think about the names, like when you think about it, you got Jordan, you got LeBron, Kobe, Duncan, in my opinion, Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. When you think about it and you really think about the game, being the GOAT, part of being the GOAT is changing the game. There is no one in the left, sir. I would debate this with anybody. I know how much you like LeBron. I could make a case there is no more influential basketball player in the last 25 years than Stephen Curry. All you got to do is look at the threes before he got drafted and look at where the threes are at now. I'm not saying he's the best.
I wanted to play basketball because of Allen Iverson. He was playing 25 years ago. If I'm being completely honest,
okay, well,
I'm about to say it's a lot of stuff I want to debate y'all on. You get what I'm saying? Y'all talking about superstars, stars, and all, but yeah, I would say 25 years, Allen Iverson. But Curry has had the biggest impact as far as shooting. He's made it possible for a smaller guy to believe that they can get to where he's at. You get what I'm saying? Like, Allen Iverson did it, but the way that he did it didn't even look real. Like the way that he did shit, it looked like, damn, like you got to go outside and practice that shit. You get what I'm saying? Obviously, you got to go outside and practice your jump shot. But it's a lot more people that think they can be Curry than they can be Iverson. You get what I'm saying? Because Iverson was out there killing motherfuckers. I wanted to be like Iverson. It ain't had shit to do with basketball. You get what I'm saying? He was just super nice on the basketball court.
To me,
that was
AI,
just a plus. Like,
AI bought the whole AI to me bought the whole repertoire. I'm looking at Steph as a basketball player. AI wasn't just a basketball player. Like, he really wasn't. He was more of a, like, if you really want to keep it 100, he was more of a mogul than he was a basketball player. He was a great basketball player. I'm not saying this man's a bum, but he was looked at more of a mogul than Steph Curry. Steph Curry is just a basketball player. The reason why I say you look at 25.
Has he been on the cover of 2K yet?
I think I don't know. Maybe yeah.
If he ain't been on the cover of 2K yet, we can't talk about this GOAT conversation. Like, it's simple stuff that you gotta check off. It's simple. Every GOAT has been on the cover of 2K that you gonna talk about. I just want to let you know that every GOAT you gonna name has graced the cover of 2K.
Tim Duncan been on the cover of 2K.
He been on the cover live, bro.
He never won a championship.
Why you gotta win a championship? Oh, true. My bad. I'm about to say you switching your combos. I didn't say Carmelo Anthony was the GOAT.
I ain't never saying that. I'm saying.
But
Tim Duncan.
Carmelo Anthony nice as a bitch. I'm not saying he's the greatest basketball player of all time. I didn't say that. You get what I'm saying? He's the greatest. He might be the greatest basketball player from Baltimore for sure.
Baltimore,
Like the greatest basketball player of all time. I would give that to his classmate. And I only say that because I didn't watch Michael Jordan. You get what I'm saying? When I was born, like I don't even understand how y'all be saying Michael Jordan. Y'all didn't even watch him. You get what I'm saying? Technically, you watch highlights.
Let me say this. Let me say this. We can debate this all day. You know, I feel that Kobe Bryant better than LeBron James. You know that. You know, I'll debate that any day, all day. You know that. I mean, I saw the 2000. Go ahead.
Depending on what you want.
I ain't gonna lie. I saw in 2004 that I know he. You know what they're gonna say? He didn't play. Cool. I saw Dwayne Wade. I saw Melo. I saw LeBron on that Olympic team. They went home and they went and bought bronze home. These ain't my words. These is what Jerry Colangelo, the director of the team, said. These ain't my words. These is what he said. He said, "Man, when I wanted to go get a gold medal, I called Kobe Bryant." Now, bro, it ain't my words. I don't own the team. I don't work for USA Basketball. My shirt don't say USA. That just say Nike, ladies and gentlemen, just Nike. I'm not a USA Basketball official. I just know myself. So officially saying, I'm gonna go with the guy who picked the team and what he said, and he picked Kobe. That's what he did. Because I mean, he said he trying to win. So listen, the LeBron. I don't really get into LeBron. The LeBron.
Yeah, that was 2008. That was 2008.
Yeah,
I would pick Kobe in 2008 to be the best player in the NBA at that time in 2008. Would y'all not say that?
I would agree with that.
Was he one? You get what I'm saying? Like I would agree with you. You get what I'm saying? Like I would agree. And when you get 4 years later, you feel me? Niggas was having torn Achilles, and you feel it was breaking down like a bad engine out there. You feel breaking down.
I give you that.
So you gotta account longevity as well. And he ain't been caught in no steroid allegations yet neither. So if it's all natural,
longevity isn't everything. Yo, just because you do something for a long extended of time doesn't mean you're the best at it. You're just doing it a long extended period of time. That don't mean you're the best.
Yeah, but if you did it for a long period of time, being the best at it for the longest period of time as well, we're not saying that he just showed up and came to work for 22 seasons. That's what you just tried to say. He came. No,
I didn't.
Anybody that came, so that's why I say I respect the guys that don't cheat the game a little bit. You get what I'm saying? Like guys that kind of like they don't break. I respect the guy that don't break character regardless of what's going on for real.
To me,
so niggas is not trying to average 5 points. Kobe wasn't going to average 5 points. It's certain guys that's not going to go out there and average 5 points. So when they get to a point where they're not to their form, they're going to retire. Then you got guys that's going to still skate I ain't gonna say skate their way through, but you get what I'm saying? The level of play, they're taking a spot from somebody, bro.
Yeah, no, I get that. No, I'm not making it seem like he just showed up to work. No, what I'm saying is he wasn't the best when he came in the league. He became the best, in my opinion. He became the best around 2011, 2012. He was the best for years. Now let me just say this: y'all do know, like LeBron James on the LeBron James era. LeBron James was playing at his apex. They definitely called it the Steph Curry era. Since you want to speak on 2K, you got 2K25, right? Yeah, you got 2K25, right? You put 2K up, you got to be on the cover of the game. They got on the game 2K, that is the Curry era. Wouldn't that be doing the LeBron James era? So I'm just saying again.
Listen.
Facts. I like the facts.
I can't control. Well, I mean, again, I'm about to say Curry has had an era. I'm about to say for sure, bro. That's why I say it depends on who you ask, and it depends on what you want on your team, bro. Like all those guys are the greatest of all time. If you want to go Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, because it's Curry, you get what I'm saying? The guy that kind of got like gypped in all this is KD. You get what I'm saying? Like it's guys that's kind of like it's guys that's still in that caliber that is the greatest of all time, but they're stuck in the era of these other guys that are fucking dominating the league right now. Exactly. You get what I'm saying?
I would agree with that.
But no, I would agree though, bro.
I definitely agree with you. Made great points. I'll tell you this. I think eventually we should stop trying to make it one GOAT. Like you could say, yo, these are the GOATs of this era. For example, like LeBron James and Steph Curry are the GOATs of this era. In my opinion, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and Duncan were the GOATs of the last era. Then the GOATs, and then before that, obviously, I mean, no disrespect to everybody else, but the majority of it was Jordan. And then before Jordan, you had Dr. J. I mean, not Dr. J. You had Magic and you had Bird. So Like, we need to get out of this one GOAT person and defending one person. Yeah, I like Kobe Bryant, but I'll say this. There are certain things LeBron James does better than Kobe Bryant. There are certain things. You feel me? So
there's things that everybody, that's why there's things that everybody does. It depends on what you like.
There you
get what I'm saying? Like, it depends on how you want to build your team, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, me personally, that's why I say personally, you'll never hear me say LeBron was the greatest killer or LeBron was out there killing. You get what I'm saying? I say he's the greatest overall basketball player of all time, bro. Like, if I'm building a team, I want a nigga that can dribble, pass, and shoot, bro. You get what I'm saying? Like, but you got to be able to do all three of those things. You get what I'm saying? Like, the nigga can dribble, he can pass. I ain't saying he out there crossing people up, but he got enough handles to be 6'8" and set up an offense and make sure shit is running how it's supposed to be running. You get what I'm saying? He's diming people left hand, right hand. You get what I'm saying? And he scores all three levels damn near. Now, you get what I'm saying? It wasn't all three levels before, but shit, now you leave him open. It ain't like you turning your back on him. And that's the same thing with the rest of the guys. Like, I don't remember any of those guys being like a super knockdown 3-point shooter. You get what I'm saying? Like, they got a lot of buckets off the dribble, one-on-one bucket, shit like that. I don't remember them niggas being a lot of, you feel me, stand still 3-point shooters and niggas shooting threes like that for real. Like, well, I'm speaking from a Jordan Kobe standpoint. Like, I feel like they killed you all three levels, but it was mainly from the midi and that basket.
Yeah, basically 3-point line.
But it's just it all depends on what you want on the team, bro. Like, if you want Jordan, it's not a bad pick. He's the greatest player of all time from that era, bro. If you put him in this era, he probably averages 60 points a game, bro. Shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Because he's fucking dominant, bro. James Harden averaged damn near 30-something, damn near 40 points. You get what I'm saying? And he went all left. So I'm pretty sure Jordan can get 50 going all right. You get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, damn. Like, it ain't. They was like, bro. So, like, that's why I'm saying. So it's like, it all depends on what you watching, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching the game. Like, it ain't, niggas are skillful for sure. But the shit that they be allowed to do out there, I be like, bro, I don't know, bro. They was playing James Harden from the side. Like, they was like guarding him from the side and like behind him. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, I watched multiple games of that.
Yeah, the Jazz did that in the playoffs. In the playoffs, they did that. I remember.
What can you do, bro? Like, if you stand in front of him, he gonna make it. At that time, he was getting 40, 10, and 10. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, what more can you ask from a basketball player, bro? He gonna give you the points. He go out there and pass the ball to the open people, and he go crash the ball when need be. What more can you ask, bro? I don't need no defense from a guy like that. You're doing enough on the offense end. We need to surround you with some defenders.
That's what Houston tried to do. That's how they got to the conference finals. They had him do the offense.
That's what the Lakers right do. You get the Lakers about 2-3 years.
Yeah,
they're gonna have a whole bunch of Vandos and motherfucking dodos out there with fucking Luka. A whole bunch of hood niggas out there. We just go beat niggas up. Luka, shoot that motherfucker. We gonna have the white guys shoot the ball. Luka, Austin, do y'all thing. All the rest of the guys out here, we locking up. You get what I'm saying? If you ain't playing no defense, you want to bench. And then we got Bronny. Come on, bro. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Gotta play defense.
We playing Bronny James 2027.
Gotta do it well. Man, Smoot, well, bro, we appreciate you for coming on. Can't wait to have you back.
Absolutely.
We'll have you back on soon, bro. Once again, brother.
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Keep doing y'all thing too, man. Keep rocking and rolling. Y'all got an amazing show, bro. And you got an amazing show too, John. About to say your show as well. About to say y'all keep doing y'all thing, bro. Keep rocking and rolling. Keep leading the way, man. You got a lot of people that's following for sure.
Man, I appreciate you, Smoot, man. I appreciate that big time, bro.
We appreciate that, Smoot. Ladies and gentlemen, going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give this part of the show to one of the best guys on the show, Dylan. UFC, take it over, my brother.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Josh and John, let's go. A little 254 breakdown. I know you guys were watching. You had to. I told you to. The first two fights of the prelims were crazy knockouts right away. Insane. I thought Lemos was going to come out for this one. I thought Nunes was going to come out on this one and get this dub, but she got knocked out. Crazy uppercut. She kept ducking her head in this fight. Her opponent, Francilla, she called it right away. She was eyeing her up from the 2 minutes into it. Nunes kept ducking her head, doing this crazy weird duck when she was going either for a takedown or maybe a swinging uppercut to try and catch her, but she did that little duck and dive too many times, and she got struck with an uppercut, and she got put to sleep, and it was a hard one. That was a second fight in. First fight in also, the night off on the prelims was another women's fight, and it was in the women's flyweight division, and those two women were going handsy quick. At less than 2 minutes in, a minute and 50 seconds in, these two women already threw it down, and there was a knockout, and I was tuned in by then. I know my guy Ryan Spann on these prelims. He did take the loss, though, and that was a crazy fight. Both these heavyweights, though, Waldo Acosta and Ryan Spann, big boys, both of them heavyweights, both of them trying to get a quick knockout. These guys do not want to be in there longer than 5 minutes. Even more, the next round, they're trying to get it done in that first five. All these heavyweights are. You very rarely, besides John Jones, see a heavyweight fight going past the first round because these guys just want to get haymakers thrown in there and get these guys out. And unfortunately, Ryan Spann did get knocked out. And that was the last fight in the prelims. I was still tuned in, but the last fight in the prelims was a little upset because I thought Ryan Spann was going to take that dub. But it's all right. I don't count him out. 30-some years old, still going strong. I'll take it. Main card for this 254 recap, pretty crazy also. First fight, KO, first round, 3 minutes in, nasty right hand, little ground and pound. Kevin Vallejos, crazy fighter actually. Pretty sure I said he was going to win. Argentinian, grappled crazy, hands crazy, came into the fight, wanted to win. Post-fight interview also, calling out ranked opponents. These featherweights, all these guys below the middleweight division are trying to get in the rankings. Those guys 160 and below, 175 and below, I'd say. Easier to make way for them guys. They want to rip through. Featherweight division stacked. But yeah, that was a crazy fight. 1 minute in, 3 minutes, or 1 round in, 3 minutes. Already a knockout to start it off. Second fight. First round between these two guys, pretty crazy also. Excuse me, I can't pronounce their names, but both crazy fighters right here. First round in, they were both bloody, scrapping. I thought Brazil was going to take the double in this one in the first round. He didn't in the first round. Second round, 1 minute, 30 seconds in, boom, boom, KO. Boom, boom, submission on the ground, done. Wrapped him up, rear naked choke. Once you get your legs locked in the rear naked choke, there's no, in general, once they lock their legs and they're on your back, you're done. You're getting flattened out. You don't want to be flattened out. You're rolling over. You're giving them your back that way. Easy rear naked choke submission. He got into less than 2 minutes in round 2, and that was a very good victory. Sweet submission game, actually. So good for him. Called Blackshear to win this. That's my guy. Told you also. Rear naked choke from him. Less than 5 minutes in round 2. Got it done in 4.5 in round 2. Rear naked choke by him. Once you get the hands locked, it's crazy. Gibson was trying to fight it. You could see him. He did not. He finally just gave up at one point because you can't do nothing about it. So I don't know what I would do either. Flailing, got somebody on my back, legs locked. You can't roll. You can't do nothing. He's squeezing the life out of you with their legs. Great submission by Blackshear. Congrats to him. I called it in that one, I'm pretty sure. So that's cool. Keep an eye on him. He's been my guy. Third fight from the top, Hernandez versus Hollowball. That was a crazy fight too. Both them boys were bloody, and they went the full distance, which I like. I do like a full fight that goes the distance if they're fighting. I don't like the grappling, ground, rolling around. Not a fan of that unless you're doing something in the grappling game. Some guys just hold you down for 5 minutes and try and take control, but control don't get you points. Ground and pound, trying to get a finish, a submission, doing something crazy. That'll get you a win. They went the full 5, the distance, which is pretty good. Like I said, they were fighting the whole time. It was a good fight. Hernandez took the dub, and that's a good win for him. The next fight up, Santos versus Chindy. Those guys were going crazy, actually, too. Santos was bloodied up, broken nose probably. Them boys were throwing hands. Chindy is a quick dude. It's the welterweight division. These guys are throwing fast still. So they're still 160s walking around probably, and they're just throwing hands flying. And that was a crazy fight. Both Chindy wasn't really busted up that bad, but Santos' nose was definitely leaking and bloody. Crazy fight. KO. Chindy got the dub. Love it. Good for him. Main event. We had Vettori versus Roman, and that was actually a crazy fight. They went the full they went 5 rounds, actually. 5 rounds, 5 minutes, 25 minutes, nonstop fight. They were fighting also. Few minutes they were on the ground. Neither of them guys want to grapple or wrestle or anything like that. None of them looking for a submission in the middleweight. They both can, but none of these guys were. But Vettori was definitely busted up too. His eye was bloody, nose was bloody. He went the full 5. He tried at the end to throw these haymakers. He gave it his all in the last 5 minutes. Unfortunately, he did not get it, and Roman got the dub. Good for him. Number 12. He's going to take Vettori's spot, I'm sure, and become number 8 in the middleweight division. So congrats. Sick fight night on 254, but even better, 255 coming up this weekend, and I cannot wait for Leon Edwards to get back in there versus Sean Brady. Crazy. Awesome card. Love it. We'll start from the prelims. A lot of these people I do know on the prelims. Shannon Bannon, she's fighting. Crazy strawweight fighter. She's moving up. I've watched 2 of her fights also in the prelims, I think, and she is coming up in the prelim, or coming up in that women's strawweight division. Looking forward to that fight in the prelims. A couple more on the prelims I'd say look out for also. Mick Parkin versus Marcin Tiberiu. Ooh, both heavyweights. Like I said before, these heavyweights do not want to go longer than 5 minutes. I don't even think they can go longer than 5 minutes. Some of them with how big they are, reaching 265, walking around at 280, getting in the octagon at 280. That is crazy to me. And them boys are not lasting 15 minutes and don't want to be in there. So that's definitely a good one. I'm going to go with Mick Parkin. He's a fan favorite from England. I believe he's coming off a dub also. Big fan of him. Tiberiu, big fan also. He is. Mick Parkin coming off a win. I'm going to take him on the prelims. If you guys need something to throw in on them bets, I'd pick up Mick Parkin on that one. Good one. Next fight Felipe Dos Santos, right? Another fight on the prelims to look out for versus Lanier Kavanaugh, flyweight, men's. Santos, last win, coming off a win also. Throwing hands. My guy does throw hands. He is a fun fighter in that flyweight division. Neither of them ranked, but at Felipe's last fight, he is coming off a loss, but I ain't counting him out. That division is stacked. We got Lanier. He is coming off a dub, so I think Santos is going to try and bring this back and get on a win streak. Big fan of Santos. Keep an eye out for him. Good one. Let's move on to this main card. Oof. Big main card, even for a fight night. Leon Edwards, I don't even know how he's doing a fight night after just going on a crazy 10-0 run to get the belt and hold the belt. It's just a crazy for him. But we'll start at the beginning. If you guys need something on this one, Nathaniel Wood, he's the first fight on this prelim versus Morgan Chairi. Pardon if I didn't get that right, but both those guys, crazy featherweight fighters. Both of them, 120 pounds. Who doesn't want to win this? They're on the main card of this fight night. They're going to do something. That division is stacked, though, but I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood on that one. I have seen him. He is good. Chris Duncan versus Jordan Vucinic, lightweight. Chris Duncan, I've watched him. I'm not too familiar with Jordan, but lightweight, prelims, like I said, these boys are ready to bang. They want to do something. They're trying to make a statement. They're trying to get involved. They want to move up on the lightweight, but I'm going to go with Chris Duncan on this one. Keep an eye out for him. Meatball Molly, she's back on this. I think she's 0-3. She's not had a good rough past 3. Coming off a KO, a submission. I know she's a fan favorite, but Alexa Theneria is her opponent, who is not ranked either. Women's strawweight, we all have faith in Molly. I just saw her warming up this past week, doing something, training video, and she did look pretty dialed in. Her coaches know, she knows that she's on an 0-3 right now and needs to get back in the win column. I do think that she is dialed in and focused, and this might be her last fight on her contract also. So I'm pretty sure she's going to be dialed in. She wants this win. I'll go with Molly on that one. Next fight in the welterweight. Woo! Gunnar Nelson, Kevin Holland. What do you want here and what do you expect? We know both these guys throwing hands. We know both these guys grapple. Kevin Holland has not been on a good run, though. iffy, wishy-washy, win, loss, grapple. He has fought some of the top guys with them losses in this past 5 bouts, but and you can never count Kevin Holland out. His grappling is grade A, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He's probably a wrestling champion, BJ, all the above. Taekwondo, I believe he is Taekwondo, actually, hands down style, long, lanky. But Gunnar Nelson, Gunnar Nelson is gunning for a belt. The welterweight division has been on a high alert for Gunnar Nelson because he's coming in hot. He's coming off a win. So I'm going to go with Gunnar Nelson. It's unfortunate. I do like Kevin Holland a lot, but I think he has given up a little bit in his last 3 or 4 fights and hasn't been his full potential, it looked like. But we'll see. Great fight. Please watch out for that one. I'm going with Gunnar. Co-main event, Carlos Ulberg versus Jan Blachowicz. Both these guys have fought for the belt. Actually, Carlos Ulberg has not fought for the belt, but we know Jan has. We know Jan's style. Jan just likes to throw hands also, but he's good. He's technical. He stays in the pocket. He isn't. He's being very patient. He's not rushing anything. His kicks are crazy too. But Carlos Ulberg, for being a big boy in the light heavyweight, he's pretty jacked and jacked looking. And he throws pretty quick hands, but I don't think he has the stamina and endurance that Jan Blachowicz has. I don't know that, but if he gets Jan in the first round and it's quick and Jan's on the back foot, Jan does not do good on the back foot. We saw that in his previous fights also against John Jones. Jan can't go back and throw his haymakers that he does. So I'll probably go with Carlos Ulberg on this one. Jan's coming off a loss, I believe, also. But let's go with Carlos. Underdog. We'll take him. Main event, Sean Brady, Leon Edwards. What more do you want? Leon Edwards coming off a loss. Sean Brady coming off a win against Gilbert Burns. What a crazy fight that was. A Sean Brady-Gilbert Burns fight. One of my favorites also, Sean Brady versus Gilbert Burns. Both crazy. I'm going to go with Sean Brady on that one. Leon, he's coming off a loss. He lost to Belal Muhammad, lost the belt. Once you lose something like that, I'm not sure how much you can come back from it. I mean, we've seen previous people lose the belt, then get it in the next fight, and then lose it right after that. Because it's hard to get that run back. Let's go look at Volk, for instance. Volk's going for another fight coming up. You get the belt back against Diego Lopez, and he's lost it twice before. It's just hard to retain that it's probably a lot into it, the heart, the mind, to continue to get that run back and just plow through the division after you just got knocked out. Leon Edwards didn't get knocked out. He's done a lot of knocking out, but he did lose that belt just now to Belal, and that's a crazy fight. And I don't know, 5-round Belal. Leon, it does have the endurance, stamina to go 5, and he is scary. His hands are scary. His feet are scary. He's quick. He trains to win. He has the mindset to win, but I don't know if he has the mindset after that last fight against Belal. That was a lot. And Sean Brady beating up Gilbert Burns the way he did, and he's going on a high momentum right now going to this fight against Leon. I'm going to go with Sean Brady on this one. As much as I like Leon, Sean Brady, though, is going to be my pick in this one, and he is not the underdog. Fan favorite, Sean Brady. Number 5, Sean Brady going for number 1, Leon Edwards. This is going to put whoever wins in contention for that belt again against Belal, and I hope it is Sean Brady. Looking forward to that. For this one, going Sean Brady on the main event. That's my 255 breakdown. But a little talk. Still don't know what's going on with Ilia Topuria. Don't know what's going on with John Jones. No update from either of them. No update from Islam Makhachev. We want something from him. He had a great last fight. We're looking for more activity, though, out of the people who are holding the belt. Contract UFC, they want you fighting 3 to 4 times a year. I think if you have the belt, you should be fighting just as much. They want to fight maybe twice a year if you're holding the belt. You should be in clause in 2025 or 2026 coming up, whatever it may be, however they work it out, that if you have the belt, you got to at least fight 3 times a year. There's people who are fighting 4 times a year in the rankings, moving up to number 1, who can't fight the belt until 6 months from now because you just fought 2 months ago or whatever it may be. They're doing something with it right now. I need to see more title fights, even women's. Zhang Wei Li has she's probably fought 4 or 5 times in 1 year just because she wants to retain the belt and she wants to keep going and keep fighting and holding the belt and proving people wrong. And people keep challenging her. If you're going to get challenged, you got to do something about it. Sean Strickland's going for the belt again. He's challenging Duplessis after their last fight. Just keep going for the belt. All these people, we need to see more. The fans want it. We all want more fights, more title fights, more something to lead to the belts to move them along or something. But we need something from that. Now I'm looking forward to this Leon Edwards, Sean Brady, whoever's going for the belt after that. Hopefully Sean Brady going against Belal because he's ready to fight also. But great UFC chat, guys. Appreciate it. We will talk next week. I can't wait. Go Brady.
Thank you, Dylan. You're the best, brother. Can't wait to have you back on next week. John, it's the best time of the year. Everyone's in this episode's waiting for our March Madness picks. So you guys don't have to wait too much longer. March Madness segment, here we go. Before we give our picks, we're going to start off with the first four. Alabama State plays St. Francis, PA. American plays Mount St. Mary's. Both of those games are 16 seeds. San Diego State plays North Carolina. Texas plays Xavier. Both of those games are 11 seeds. So you have two first four games on Tuesday night. You have two first four games on Wednesday night. Two first four games on Tuesday night, Alabama State, St. Francis, PA, San Diego State, and North Carolina. And on Wednesday, American, Mount St. Mary's, and Texas and Xavier. So that is how the NCAA will officially get started. I know everyone looks at Thursday as the round of 64 as it gets started, but it actually starts on Tuesday, and then you have the first four Tuesday and Wednesday. The number one seed, I'll go through the top four seeds in each region. John and I will give our final four picks and our national champion picks. The top four seeds in the South region. Auburn is the number one overall seed. Michigan State is the number two seed in that region. The number three seed is Iowa State. The number four seed is Texas A&M. In the East region, Duke is the number one seed in that region. Alabama is the number two seed in that region. Wisconsin is the number three seed in that region. Arizona is the number four seed in that region. The Midwest, Houston is the number one seed in that region. Tennessee is the number two seed in that region. Kentucky is the number three seed in that region. Purdue is the number four seed in that region. And finally, the West. And in my opinion, I know my compadre has a lot of thoughts on this region. In my opinion, the hardest region, the hardest bracket region in the tournament. Florida is the number one seed. St. John's is the number two seed. Texas Tech is the number three seed. And the number four seed in that region is the
Maryland Terrapins.
There we go. So, with that being said, those are your regions in the NCAA tournament. John, they've been waiting all episode. They've been waiting all show. Who do you have making the Final Four, and who is your national champion?
Terp Nation, don't kill me. You know I love you. You know I got number love for you. I've been a member since I was born. But I gotta be real here. I gotta make sure I'm not being a homer. I gotta be logical here. I have three number one seeds making it to the Final Four. I have, including with those, I'm going to start with the number one seeds. I've got Duke, Houston, and I have Florida making it to the Final Four.
Okay.
The number one seed I don't have making it is Auburn. I have Michigan State knocking them off in the Elite Eight and joining the rest of the teams I just mentioned in the Final Four as a number two seed.
Okay. So you have your Final Four is, again, I'm going to it now. Your Final Four is Michigan State, Florida, Duke, and Houston.
Yes, sir.
And who do you have winning the national championship? The Final Four this year will be in San Antonio. The national championship game will be on CBS. Who will play in the national championship game, and who do you think will win the national championship game?
I do believe the Florida Gators and unfortunately the Duke Blue Devils will meet in the national championship game, but I believe Florida will be the ones cutting down the nets at the end of it all.
Unfortunately, why would it be unfortunately that Duke made the Final Four? That would be good. It's great for TV.
Yeah, it would be great for TV, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. It's amazing. You know, since we scared to play Maryland, I just gotta say this. We can
have a segment about this one. Let's talk about it if you want.
We gonna need more time. I need to, because I've been talking to my therapist about this, and I don't understand why. No, I'm serious. I've been talking to my therapist about this. I don't understand why people think so. So this is the biggest piece of crap I've ever heard. So Maryland left the ACC because they wanted more money. Okay, they went to the Big Ten. Fine. Okay, we get it. Now it's our fault that we can't play Maryland when they could have played us every year if they stayed in the ACC. So it's our fault. Okay, cool. Okay, you know what? So allegedly we're scared. We're scared to play Maryland. Okay, John, you know what? I'll give you that. If you think that, I'll give you that. Ladies and gentlemen, I was minding my business on Selection Sunday. I was minding my business. And I seen a guy say that that Duke is scared of Maryland. Duke always finds a way not to play Maryland. And I'm like, well, bro, how is that possible? Do y'all know who the chairman of the NCAA committee is? It's Bubba Cunningham. He's the athletic director at North Carolina. He hates Duke. When you go back during the season, he was on CBS, their pregame college basketball show. They unveiled the 16 teams. He wouldn't even say Duke's name. He wouldn't even say their name. So I just don't understand how. So first, we're scared to play because they left the Big Ten. So now we're in our feelings. Now they're in the West. And I agree, John, I agree with you. I saw your show. You're right. It's not just Maryland fans. It's East Coast fans. I would love to see Duke and Maryland play. I thought Maryland was going to be the 4 seed in the East. Did I not tell you that?
Yes, you did.
Okay, so I thought that. I don't know why the hell they on the West Coast. I mean, I get they're a Big Ten school, so we can, hit them with that. But they're not this is why they should have never left the ACC in the first place.
May I respond?
Now they lumped up in the Big Ten with this crap where the Big Ten trying to control the whole country. So come on, bro. Like, no, we're not scared to play Maryland.
May I respond?
Yes, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 11 years since Maryland and Duke have had a matchup.
How do you know that?
In that time, I'll let you speak.
No. I'm not cutting you off. I want the people to know. You know this rivalry better than anybody. All joking aside, ladies and gentlemen, there's no one that knows. That's why I was so apropos to do the show with you. There's no one that knows basketball, in my opinion, better than this gentleman right here. He knows the game. He knows what he's talking about. You said that it's been 11 years. I'm not cutting you off. How do you know it's been 11 years?
Because the last time Maryland played at Duke, I was on the floor playing in that game. So I know for a fact that it was the last game since they played. And in that time frame, when Maryland moved to the Big Ten, there was a little thing called the ACC Big Ten Challenge that was going on for the better part of the next 5 to 6, 7 years. And so you mean to tell me in that span of 7 years, or possibly longer, Duke just happened to schedule anybody else in the Big Ten except for one, Maryland? And that just don't seem a little strange to you that all that time, also in that time frame, Maryland and Georgetown renewed their rivalry for a couple of seasons. That hasn't happened since freaking 1980, 1970s. So even that happened, but Duke couldn't play Maryland at all in the past decade, not once in the Big Ten. This is the Big Ten ACC challenge now. There's 2 conferences that could have met, so there's plenty of time where they could have met, but no. And Josh, I'm telling you this from a reliable source, my man, a reliable source. The reason that Duke does not want to play Maryland, it is not from Maryland's side. Trust me and believe me when I tell you. My source is very reliable.
I believe it.
They wanted to schedule Duke numerous times. They're the ones that ran away. They're the ones that are so pissed off because Maryland left the ACC and they're all butthurt because they went to the Big Ten. It's got nothing to do with basketball. It's got nothing to do with basketball. It's got nothing to do with ratings. You're telling me that a Maryland versus Duke game wouldn't be a highly rated game?
Hell yeah.
Out of your mind, you don't think so? So I know for a fact that it ain't got nothing to do with Maryland not wanting to play Duke. We want to play Duke. It's Duke that doesn't seem to want to play us. And all these projections that we had for the NCAA tournament had Maryland and Duke in the East region. They beat Wisconsin head-to-head. They beat Michigan head-to-head. Michigan won the Big Ten tournament. Wisconsin was the runner-up. How does Wisconsin get a 3 seed in the East bracket over Maryland? How does the math work there?
That doesn't make sense.
I don't understand that. How does Maryland, who was top 2, finished number 2 in the Big Ten, doesn't get a seed in the East region with Duke? You telling me Coach K ain't make a call? Maybe
I'm not.
You don't think Coach, because it's Coach K that flat out came out and said publicly that Duke will never play Maryland again.
No, I know. Listen, let me say, I know
that quote came out though, right?
That quote did come out. You're 100% right.
Coach K is not coaching anymore. So what's the problem, Duke?
Well, I mean, but
the women's team came back to College Park to play Maryland women's.
I know. With Carol Lawson. I know.
Come on, man.
I'm not making excuses for Duke because you are right. Duke is in. Well, let's just cut the crap. Duke is in their feelings, and I'm in my feelings. I'm not gonna lie because we could have had. We weren't gonna have the best conference, but yeah, Maryland. It's not a Big Ten, in my opinion. They're not a Big Ten school. They're an Atlantic Coast Conference school. Maybe you feel differently, but maybe you might agree with me. I don't know, but for me, so I can understand why Duke is upset. I can understand that. Like, I get it. because the conference is taking a hit since Maryland is not there. It has. The conference is taking a hit. Think about this. We both don't think North Carolina should have made the tournament. We know why they made the tournament. It's North Carolina. We know why they made the tournament. It's North Carolina. And trust me, would you rather on Tuesday night? Let me ask you a question. Tuesday night at 9:45, what you gonna be doing? You gonna watch the San Diego State, North Carolina. You're gonna watch the game. So that's what I'm saying. So, but I can understand why Duke is upset. They're in their feelings, and I will admit that as a Duke fan, we're in our feelings about Maryland. We wish they would have stayed in the ACC. We definitely wish they would have. But I just want to say this: we don't have no control of the tournament committee. The tournament committee this year is ran by Bubba Cunningham. He is the athletic director at North Carolina. Let me just say this: Maryland hates Duke. That's fine. Duke really don't hate Maryland. Duke hates North Carolina. So, and North Carolina hates Duke. So my point is that in my opinion, that's the best rivalry in college basketball. So we don't control the committee. Also, another thing I heard, Duke got it. Duke, that bracket looking real good for Duke. It does look good on face value, but at the end of the day, face value is not everything. Like face value is not everything. And let me get this in. Duke had a purpose before they had an opinion. And what I mean by that is their purpose is to win the national championship. Forget the opinions about Duke. Their purpose is to win the ACC regular season, win the ACC conference championship, and win the national championship. And that's their purpose. And I believe that segueing for me to get to my Final Four, I think my Final Four is I have Duke winning the East. I have Michigan State winning the South, so I'm with you on that. I have Florida winning the West. I have Tennessee winning the Midwest. I think Tennessee will beat Houston. I'm not, as we saw earlier when we had Smoot on, I'm not a fan of Houston. I think they try to smother you. And at some point in time, you can't smother everyone in the NCAA tournament. You have to score. For me, you said something earlier with Smoot about Auburn. Auburn, I can't trust them. They can't make free throws. That was the biggest difference in the SEC tournament. We watch these games religiously. We texting each other back and forth. This team can do this. This team can't do that. Auburn will lose in the tournament because they can't make free throws. Now they'll beat, a 16 seed. They might beat a good 8 seed. They might can get to the Sweet 16. But after that, to me, that's when they start looking. They start looking in trouble. And I think Michigan State will get them in the Elite Eight. My national championship game is Florida and Duke. And ladies and gentlemen, with the return of Cooper Flag, return of that man, John Shire, first-time national champion as a head coach, the Duke Blue Devils will win March Madness and win the national championship in San Antonio.
All I'm gonna say is it's not healthy to hold a grudge for a long time. I mean, I know you guys are a little pissed off about certain teams that have left the ACC, but it's not healthy to hold a grudge. It's really not good for you.
Yeah, I know. But you know what's good? In the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be holding that trophy. we're gonna be holding the grudge, and we're holding that trophy right with that grudge.
Hey, look, Duke is favorite. Duke has the highest favorite to win the national championship, as they should. They have one of the best players in the country in Cooper Flag. They have a great coach in John Shire. This is a tough Duke team. They play great defense. So those are things that you need. You got to have a guy that can get you a bucket, and you got to be able to play defense and have good coaching. Duke has all of that. But I still question Duke's competition all through this year because, as we talked about, the ACC hasn't had the toughest year. The SEC was the best conference. The Big Ten, I thought, had a better year than the ACC. But when you're good, you're good. And as we know about this national championship tournament, it's all about matchups. And there are not many teams in the country that match up well with this Duke starting five. So if you haven't gone to the national championship game, I think that's a very good pick. So there's nothing wrong with that at all, in my opinion.
Now, I picked Duke. You picked Florida to win the national championship, right?
I did.
Okay. I will say this. Out of all the teams in the tournament, Florida is playing the best right now. Florida really has a platoon system. They got 10 guys they can play. So Cooper Flag, he might not be needed against American or Mount St. Mary's. He might not be needed against them. That's fine. But when they start ramping up in the second round and when they get to their ultimate destination, if they play Florida, Cooper Flag will be beyond needed. We're going to need 2 Cooper Flags with them. Let me just say this again. Watching Florida, Todd Golden, the head coach, went through a little rough situation early to start the season. He was accused of something. He got his name cleared of that. All charges were dropped to that. And so he's free of that. This team has been balling, man. So I definitely can understand why you picking Florida. And Clayton, Man, Clayton can shoot that thing. He can shoot that ball, man. He can shoot the hell out the ball. So
Florida's got length. They play great defense, and they can shoot the hell out of the ball. They're peaking at the perfect time that you want your team to start playing its best basketball going into this tournament. That's what was different for me versus Auburn and Alabama. They were kind of like the story of the SEC throughout most of the season. But as we saw, as the season began to dwindle down going into the postseason tournament, Alabama and Auburn started to stumble a little bit, while Florida continues to get better and better and better, and started peaking at the right time, in my opinion.
Florida and the one knock they had last year that they're doing this year, they're playing defense. That's the reason why I can't really. That's another thing why I don't love Auburn. Alabama they just try to outshoot you. They try to outscore you. That's why I think Duke could beat them, or they could lose before they get to Duke in the East region, just because they try to outscore you. But the problem with Auburn defended last year. I know they lost to Yale, but they defended for the most part last year. They don't defend the same way they did last year as they do this year. And if you don't defend and you can't make free throws, ladies and gentlemen, that's the best recipe in the NCAA tournament to lose. You can't stop your opponent, and you can't get buckets when the time is stopped. That's a problem. So for me, we agree on that. I don't think Alabama. I thought Alabama was better last year than what they are this year. And the same thing with Auburn, even though I know they lost in the first round, I still thought they were better last year than what they were this year because their defense is taking a step down. Now, to give Auburn this point, they did wrap up the SEC kind of early, because Tennessee beat Alabama on that buzzer beater shot a couple Saturdays ago. So maybe they took their foot off the neck. But their deficiency as far as defense and making free throws, like you said, bro, you played in the NCAA tournament. That'll hurt you.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What do you got for your upset picks? You got any upsets in your bracket?
Yeah, so looking at the bracket, I wanted to give ladies and gentlemen, it's a couple games I want you guys to keep your eye on. Start off in the South, Michigan, UC San Diego. I think UC San Diego can beat Michigan. I'd rather say it than John said, because if John said it, makes it sound like he's a hater. But Michigan is not that good. I don't think Michigan should have beat Maryland. They beat Maryland because Maryland just fell asleep. I don't know. They're the first team I ever seen. All five guys stand up with a basketball court. They all sleep. They don't know what the hell happened. Guy just ran right past and laid the ball up. I know Michigan won the Big Ten. I know they won the Big Ten. But I think UC San Diego can beat Michigan. Another upset in that region I'm looking at, number 13 Yale and number 4 Texas A&M. Yale is better, ladies and gentlemen, than what they were last year. This year, they beat Auburn last year in the first round. It's something for you guys to look at. This is not really an upset to me. I think North Carolina will beat San Diego State. So North Carolina technically will be 11 seed. I think North Carolina beat Ole Miss. I don't really consider that an upset. You found me, because it's it's North Carolina has more prestige than San Diego State. My last upset, I think VCU can get with BYU. Now, I have been tweeting that BYU has been a hot team, but the way VCU play, I think VCU can get with BYU. What upsets you looking at?
Yeah, for me, I'm with you on the Yale take. I think Yale is being slept on again because they're an Ivy League team. They don't think they can get as physical with the likes of an SEC team. That is flat out false. Yale is a physical team, and they, like you said, they are better than they were last year when they knocked off Auburn. I can see them pulling it off again. I got Yale actually going to the Sweet 16 in my bracket. Okay. I think they can beat the likes of a Texas A&M. I think they can beat Michigan if Michigan advances past UC San Diego. I tweeted that Michigan would not see the Sweet 16. Part of that might have been a little emotional due to the recent events, but the other thing is I also saw enough of Michigan to see, hey, well, they can play, but they turn the ball over so much. They led the Big Ten this season in turnovers with just over 14 a game. That is a critical thing you do not want to have associated with your team going into this NCAA tournament. And
they have laws where they can't score. I watched them in the Big Ten tournament. They have laws where they cannot score. So if you turn the ball over and you can't score, that's a recipe for losing in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. So that's my first upset. As I'm looking down here, I hear you on BYU and VCU. Like, you're looking at a high-powered offense versus a chaotic defense that VCU plays. I get all that. I just don't know if VCU is going to be able to keep up with BYU's offense. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think BYU escapes that one. Another upset I'm looking at, and again, this is, you can kind of look at it as not really an upset, but technically based on the seeds they are, looking at Arkansas and Kansas. Kansas is the higher seed. Arkansas is the 10 seed. we've all been watching Kansas the past couple of months. They just don't look like the same typical Bill Self team at all. In fact, they look like they're just on their last leg and just waiting to get put out of their misery. I think Arkansas goes ahead and does that for them. I think John Calipari gets back into the mix, gets another NCAA tournament win, first with his new Arkansas team, and sets up a pretty intriguing matchup with what we believe will be St. John's.
It better be St. John's, because I think 100% of people picked them to be Omaha. So
I get all that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you off. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my last upset pick. I'm looking in the Midwest bracket, and I'm looking at 13 seed High Point versus Purdue. Purdue to me is just always look really suspect to me. Like at times they look really great, but there have been other times where they look average. Like, there's no like a team that's really going to go far in this tournament. And High Point is that 13 seed team that you look at, and it's like you kind of double take a little bit. Like, I feel like if we're going to have one of those higher seed upsets, I just kind of look at Purdue and like their history in the NCAA tournament, losing to a 16 seed previously, just like not going as far as a lot of people thought they would. This is not the same team where they have like two giant 7-footers. There's no Zach Edey. There's no Isaac Haas, AJ Hammond from back in the day. Braden Smith is an incredible point guard. I think he's got a bright future ahead, but I just look at this team and something about him just seems a little suspect. And I feel like this matchup is something that I feel like Purdue might find themselves losing in a very close game on something crazy that you just never expected. They open up right now as a 7.5 favorite, but I'm looking at that game and I think High Point has a chance to get them.
Yeah, High Point can score. They can penetrate the ball. They can shoot the ball. And they play solid defense. And again, Purdue is not going to run away from you. It's not like Alabama or Auburn to an extent, or Duke or Florida. They're not going to run away from you. Whereas though Purdue won't do that. Those teams will. Purdue won't. So if High Point can keep the game close, they definitely have a chance to definitely win the game. For me, I gave you a couple games, but my number one upset, I think Colorado State going to beat Memphis. I'm in the West region. I'm in your region. I think Colorado State. I watched Colorado State in the Mountain West play for the past couple of weeks. They've been in tournament mode. I like what I'm seeing from Colorado State. And with Memphis is a team like Purdue, in my opinion. I shouldn't say like Purdue, but Memphis has the pieces to win and be in the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, but for some reason they stumble. And I think this will be another example of them stumbling. So I think Colorado State. I think if Maryland can, I think Maryland will hold off Grand Canyon. I do think that'll be a more competitive game than what the line is out though. But 100%. I think Maryland will play Colorado State in the second round.
I think, and Vegas agrees with you right now. They have Colorado State as nearly a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, I like Colorado. Yeah, damn. Well, then that means Memphis should be the underdog. But technically, we're going by seed numbers. So I'm going to take Colorado State. I think Colorado State will beat Memphis. So John has Florida winning the national championship. I have Duke winning the national championship. The NCAA tournament gets underway Tuesday with the first 4 on True TV. True TV on Tuesday, True TV on Wednesday. And then on Thursday and Friday, you have your CBS, your TBS, your TNT, and your True TV will have every game on of the NCAA tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for watching episode 30 of Highly Opinionated. For the best producer in the game, Ross. For the best co-host in the game, John. Make sure you check out the Club JG podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Best podcast out. I am Merely Josh. We will see you guys next week. We out. Enjoy March Madness, ladies and gentlemen.